The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Chinese proverb.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really connected with this one, not just because it's like, yay, trees, they filter our air and stuff, but it can be so hard, and I know this happens to me too. Like, oh man, I wish I had stuck with ballet when I was 3, or oh, I wish I had done that way back when. But it's like, you can still do it, and it's better to do it right now than another 20 years from
I
now.
love that. Yeah, it's like you should enjoy the fact after the fact that you've done that great thing. 20 years later, it's great that you planted that tree, but it's also great if you go and do it
Yeah,
right now.
totally. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well,
Hello!
hello! Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
Positivity.
This is the feel good podcast that gives you good vibes by
By
the
the
spoonful.
spoonful.
Oh my goodness.
Shoot.
I am your host, Miss Mary Lou Ryan.
I'm also your host, Jacob Kahn.
And welcome to our first podcast from our new apartment.
Yeah, we're digging it. We're digging this space a lot.
Yeah, we really love it. We are in this setup today because we have to keep an eye on something in this room.
Right, we are in our bedroom, for those of you not watching.
Yes.
Because we have
This is a surprise.
a surprise for you, is what I was going to say,
I'm gonna
obviously.
tell them during community news.
I know.
I didn't mean to shush you, but I'm sorry.
You want to take it again, or you want to just keep
No,
going?
we'll just keep going.
All right.
So Jacob, what kind of tea are you drinking today?
Oh, shoot, I didn't even tell you. You don't even know.
I don't even know what it is.
I reached for one of my all-time favorites,
Yeah.
Harney and Sons Hot Cinnamon Sunset.
Oh, you did not.
It's just a teaspoon of maple syrup, that heavenly cinnamon black tea with a hint of orange. Oh, it's delicious.
I didn't even know we had hot cinnamon sunset in the house.
Yeah, well,
And I should, because I just moved our tea collection.
we have had so many new teas since we got this that we actually have a lot of it left over. Like,
Wow.
we kind of forgot about it.
Okay, great. Well, bringing it back.
Right, taking it back. Yeah.
Taking it back, so it's good, huh?
It's delicious,
Oh.
and it's making my soul warm.
Well, that's good.
What are you drinking, Mary?
Oh, man. So I am actually drinking... This is going to sound like the most pretentious thing I've ever said. I am drinking a custom blend made just for me.
Oh?
Well, we were on vacation, which thank you for being patient with the lack of episodes. We visited this tea shop in the middle of nowhere, upstate New York, called Divinity.
Yeah.
And all their teas are organic and freshly blended, and the woman who owns it is lovely and lively, and she blended her fresh Earl Grey with some rose petals for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's divine.
It is. It's divinity.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I didn't even plan on that. I set you up real good for that.
You sure did. It is a merry, friendly blend too. Heavy on the rose, heavy on the bergamot.
Yeah. I was like, this is how I like it. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. You were like, this is what I like, and she was like, I will make exactly that.
Yeah,
for
it was
you.
amazing. She was amazing. The whole thing was amazing. Again, not sponsored. Hopefully soon, though, because for those of you that are our YouTube audience, and even those of you that aren't, I'm about 15 subscribers on the Miss Mary Lou channel away from 1,000. And when we hit 1,000, we are allowed to work with people to help us produce this podcast. I'm not allowed to do any sort of partnering with tea companies that I love, etc., etc. And I would really love to be able to do that. And
You were almost there.
I'm almost there, and the Tea Town fam is growing. So
Yeah.
maybe if you're an audio only listener, if you've never watched the show on YouTube, it is much fun. We put a lot of work into it.
We make silly faces like these.
That was pretty good.
Those are some weird noises too to accompany that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, anywho, yeah, my custom blend made just for me.
Very, very nice.
It's so good. All right, so Jacob, it has been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
But the last podcast you talked about for your self-care experiment, you were taking the time to breathe deeply.
Mm-hmm.
How has that been going for you?
It's very helpful, and I've been keeping up with it. Just in moments of stress, to take the time to focus on deep breaths and slowing down and making sure that you're doing that automatic human body function that you need to like live has been very, very helpful for me to bring me back to a calm place in moments of
That's good.
high stress.
And whenever you do it and I'm around, I also join you in taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
So it's been really good for me
It's
too,
infectious.
that you've been doing it.
Yeah, good.
So I'm like, all right.
Oh, even just
So
you
good.
doing that right now.
I know. So
It's
good.
so
If you haven't
nice.
taken a deep breath while listening already, we suggest you do so.
Yeah.
So good.
So on the last podcast, you talked about acknowledging your own fear, but then doing whatever that thing is anyway. So how's that been going since then?
I actually think it has been really good to not let my anxiety or depression get in the way of doing things that I really want to do. Going out to places to see friends, stuff like that. If you hear some noises in the background, by the way, I apologize. It's part of what we're monitoring, which we will talk about later. But it's been going really well, and just remind myself, it's like, this is my fear.
Yeah.
And I am fearful, but I don't want to let that stop me from doing what I want to do and having a good time.
Right.
So I think that's been really useful, and I'm trying really, really to ingrain this one in my brain so that I am not paralyzed anymore by anxiety and panic and all of these things. So again, I'm
Nice.
still working at making it a habit because my gut reaction is like, ah.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of people's gut reaction.
Yeah.
And it can be difficult, but I think it's good that you're focusing on it.
Yeah, just like
Honing in on it.
being aware of it when it does happen, I think is invaluable.
Practice
So
good practice.
Practice good practice. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Well, keep up the practicing.
thanks.
Yeah.
All right, so what did you do this past week for yourself?
Well, so this past week we've been moving into and setting up this apartment. And
Oh, yeah.
I've had a lot of instances where focusing on what I surround myself with in a physical, literal sense has been a big part of my to-do list. And it's been quite a bit of a struggle for me, as it always is, I think, to not focus and not dwell too much on what I perceive others may perceive about me.
Yeah.
In regards to the setup of my living space, and to focus more on, and if not solely on, how it makes me feel in my own living area,
Yeah.
So designing the space around me and my environment in many ways, one of which we'll get to in the community news.
Wow, we are really teasing this.
We are really, hinting at it. But just making sure that it is focused on me and my own personal needs, and making sure that it's set up for me to thrive and be happy.
And we've both been heavily involved with the design process for this new space. And
Yeah.
it's really been wonderful to not only balance our tastes, but also to bring things together, tie things together in ways that create an environment that makes us happy.
So what about you this week?
Oh man,
What's been your self-care?
So my mantra for this week is seek help when you need it. You are worth it.
Yes.
And I know this is very layered. There's so many goodies in here. I do have a certain level of pride, I think, with being an independent woman. I mean, yes, we're engaged and we live together and stuff, but I've always been fairly self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And things that I need, etc. Things are happening in my life that are bigger than me, or I'm just overwhelmed by them, or even if it's something small like, hey, because I'm still in ankle surgery recovery, I can't reach that thing on that shelf. Can you get it for me? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, even there was a period when we were on vacation where I kind of had a bad little spiral there, and the people around me were so loving, and they were like, let's go get you the help that you deserve. And it was really a hard experience and a whirlwind of an experience, but I'm really glad that the people around me loved me so much. And literally, your older sister, she said to me, like, you don't deserve to suffer. Which, as someone who has been a chronic illness sufferer, or chronic illness warrior, as we like to call it, for years now, the thing that I was getting pretty much from all the doctors was like, oh, well, that sucks. Good luck. So that had kind of been my mindset previously, which is like,
It
whether
shouldn't be anybody's mindset.
yeah, whether it's, you're struggling with anxiety, depression, pain, anything like that.
Yeah.
Seek help when you need it. You are worth it. So like this is like a really big thing for me. Switching from well, everyone told you you're just going to suffer and that's whatever. Like that's your life now. It doesn't have to be that way. Even though, am I in pain? Hell yeah, I'm in pain right now. But I am having a wonderful time recording this podcast for you. And I love being here with everybody. And I'm drinking some tea, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And
all those things are helpful, but it is also, it's important
yeah,
to seek out help when you need it.
I really got to rewire my brain on this one. So I'm going to keep repeating it in my head.
Yeah.
Seek help. You're worth it.
And out loud. I think we can all agree that you do not deserve to suffer. Mary.
Yeah, no one. And you don't either. And no one listening here deserves to suffer. No. Seek help. You are worth it. Say it to yourself right freaking now, even if you're driving in your car. Seek help. You're worth it. Hell yeah, you worth it. Yeah. Community news. Welcome to Community News.
Yeah.
This is the magical part of the podcast where we take good news from you, the listeners, and chat about it, tell you how incredible you are, and just revel in your general awesomeness.
I like to hear about all the goodness coming from you to us.
Absolutely. And if you have any good news throughout your week, please tag me at Miss Mary Lou on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is.
Or feel free to email us.
Yeah.
PositiviTeaPodcast@gmail.com.
Very exciting. And that's PositiviTea. I got submissions from all over the place this week.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was really, really great. All right, so this is from Beverly Butterfly XX. Hi, Beverly. And this is actually kind of relevant to what we were just talking about. She said she went out alone and walked Gizmo, her dog, which is a big deal with her fatigue and anxiety disorder.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, queen.
Heck yeah.
Whether it's fatigue, anxiety, whatever it is, again, like also talking about acknowledging that fear is there and something is stopping you. And then just doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're a freaking warrior.
For real. I hope that felt so great to walk Gizmo Puppy.
Yeah, Gizmo Puppy. Aw, what a sweetie. I know. I'm struggling with this right now. Like, I'm at a point in my ankle recovery where I'm still so afraid to even like go up and down stairs by myself. Although I did conquer a fear. I showered without assistance from either a person or a medical assistant device for the first time in like 3 years yesterday.
Side celebration.
Woo! But yeah, thank you for submitting this, Beverly.
Yes.
You go. I hope you loved it. I'm sure Gizmo freaking loved it. But there you go.
We're so happy to hear. That's so exciting.
You know that things were holding you back and you had the strength to go for it. And like, I love celebrating things that seem either big or small. And it's just so, so wonderful to hear. I'm so thrilled. So, yes, Beverly. Yes, Gizmo.
Big deal. We love it.
We love you.
We love you.
So good.
Oh, God.
Okay, so this next one here was submitted anonymously, so we will keep it that way.
Okay.
And they said they finally got connected with a therapist and medication.
Yes.
It's a huge step for them and their well-being. Yes.
I feel that. I'm so proud of you because I am I'm struggling with these things myself. I'm working on these
Yeah.
things myself, and I know that must be a huge relief. So,
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you are always welcome to submit things anonymously
yes.
if just specify so. Like if it's something, that's a little bit more personal to you, you can always say, hey, can you just submit this anonymously? And I'm
We
happy to do that for
we
you.
can celebrate your awesomeness without having to shine a spotlight in your face.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can understand, like, for the sake of privacy and, when things are really personal for wanting to do that. So that is such a huge step.
Yeah.
That is completely incredible. You're doing it. You knew you needed the thing. You were acknowledging it was something you were afraid of. And,
And you're seeking the help you need.
you're a superhero.
High
Oh my
five.
goodness, you're a wizard.
High
That
five.
is A plus community news.
Yeah.
So good. So thrilled for you. And thank you for sharing because, other people hearing that you could do it might encourage someone else to seek the help that
Yeah.
you need. Again, seek help. You're worth it.
You are.
All of
And
this
it's
is
totally-
tying in today.
Yeah, I know. It's like, this is callback podcast like crazy. I
know,
love
I
it.
know. You're a wizard. Thank you
Yeah.
for submitting and for having
Your
courage.
magic.
Your magic. All right. And the last one, we will finally stop teasing you. Jacob, what is our community news from this week?
Okay, so we're hanging out in our bedroom right now because for the last 15 hours or so, we've had two little kitties here with us.
Oh my god. We
And
are
they-
now cat parents.
And they are getting used to the space, so we have them locked in here and we don't want to like abandon them. So we're hanging out here with them.
Yeah.
Their names are are we doing their names?
We can do their names for the podcast fam. I'm gonna launch an official meet the kitties video for YouTube, but I don't think that they're planning on walking into frame anytime soon.
No,
and
but
also, if you've heard any wrestling noises
they're
in the
having
background,
fun with each other.
Yeah.
They're playing. So their names are Mary and Pippin.
Obviously, like Meridoc Brandybuck and Peregrine Took from Lord of the Rings. Merry and Pippin, they're brothers from another mother. They love each other.
Yeah, they're best
Pippin
friends.
they're best friends. And these cats fit very much that description. They are from different litters. Everybody else in their litter was adopted.
In each of their litters, they were the
in
last
each of their
each.
litters. And so they were lonely. They put them together and they really, really bonded. So it's like brothers, but better. They're just really wonderful, really adorable.
I'm sure when they get a little more comfortable with us and with the space, they'll find their way on camera one way or another.
Mary was up here before. He's like, what
Yeah.
are you setting up? What's going on? What are you doing? So stay tuned on my YouTube channel to meet the kitties officially. But for the podcast fam, we wanted to share the news and tell you their names, which I have not put anywhere. And I might not put anywhere until they're more settled. We'll have to see. So, sneak peek for you, podcast
We're very
fam.
excited. It's been very, very
my
good.
Gosh.
A good thing in our lives. We've been wanting this for a while now.
5 years
so.
we've wanted cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so part of the reason we did move was so that we could adopt feline friends.
We like the kitties.
We love kitties, and they're such cuddle buddies.
Yeah.
And they also like to wrestle with each other, and they really like one of the toys we got for them. And
They're all about it.
yeah, so we literally got them last night, so they spent most of that time to now under the bed, but they are slowly getting bolder and bolder, curiouser and curiouser.
Yeah, they're wandering around the room right now and
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, it's pretty great. They're really wonderful. And, they already know what a litter box is.
Yes.
And where it was, because we were like, please just look at this before you go under the bed, guys.
That was
This
kind
is
of
where the
nice.
litter box is.
Not gonna lie, we were getting ready if we needed to litter train, and that's totally fine. But it's kind of nice that they were just like, nope, I know where to poop.
And I mean, instinctually, they like to go in a place where they can bury it and whatnot, which is why litter boxes work so well. But we weren't sure how old the kittens were we were going to be adopting. These guys are about 5 months. So they're definitely not teeny, teeny, tiny, but they are little and so fuzzy and so cute.
Full of energy. Oh
I
my
know.
god.
So if you see our gaze diverting
Sorry.
off camera, it's because like they're either causing a ruckus or being really cute.
It's
So
because we're so happy.
we're so happy, and we can say things like Peregrine Took, which is just really, really exciting. So shout out to Lord of the Rings fans out there.
Yeah.
Go us, we're wizards.
Yeah,
A+,
podcast high five.
podcast high five.
Woo. Good news, everyone! I have good news.
It's good news.
Yeah, this is the part of the podcast where we bring you some happy news happening in the world.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob, so what feel-good news article did you dig out of the depths of the interwebs for us this week?
So this is an article about something that scientists have been talking about, researching lately in regards to the emotion of awe. So AWE, awe, which is defined as the emotion we feel in response to something vast that defies our existing frame of reference in one area or another and leads us to change our perception of that frame of reference. Awe can be something that makes us feel small or self-diminished in regards to the grander universe around us. It can make us feel humbled, which can make us want to engage more with the world around us and with others, a desire to feel more connected to others. So what are the positive effects of feeling awe? Awe can make you feel like a small part of something larger, which will encourage you to seek out others and to seek out a grander purpose and meaning, which is exciting. People who experience awe are recorded as more likely to acknowledge strengths and weaknesses in a balanced way, and are able to be more focused and headstrong in approaching problems as a result of this. Symptoms of PTSD have been shown to be reduced by people who have experienced awe.
Wow.
General happiness, a feeling of connection to a community, curiosity, academic achievements, an ability to deal with change and stress, all of this can be improved by experiencing the awe in something grander than yourself. So,
Wow. How do you try to like work this into your routine?
Right. Well, and that's something that's discussed in this article, and I love it. It's how it doesn't. There's no one scale for what inspires awe in people. It doesn't need to be necessarily, although I'm sure that would inspire awe if I was traveling through space.
Yeah, in a rocket ship.
But
Most
it can
people
also
can't
be
afford that.
right. It could also be something as small as noting a good deed that someone did, just taking in a natural landscape or a mountain or something that's larger than you that breaks your expectations about your environment or the world you live in some way. So like, and they talk about ways that you can seek out awe in your life.
Okay, yeah, no, lay it on me because
Yeah.
I'm most intrigued.
So something that I've actually talked about before on the podcast that's definitely affects a lot of people is just listening to a moving piece of music.
Yes.
You know, that can have such a deep effect on you and change your mood and the way you look at things. And you could seek out a massive skyscraper or some architectural ingenuity and just observe and look at the grandeur of it.
No, I always experience awe when I see really old pieces of architecture.
Yeah. Because it's something from a different time.
Right.
It's something unique.
And we live in an area where a lot of the buildings around are quite old.
Yeah.
We haven't actually looked at this specific building we're living in right now, but our last apartment we lived in was built in the early 50s.
Right.
Which was really, really cool. Yes, architecture.
Yeah, and that gets your imagination running too, you know?
And like, what was this like the day that it opened? Like,
Right.
I found out a really cool building that I've been admiring for a while. I just found out it used to be a hotel when it opened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, it was a hotel. Like, what were the kind of people like that used to check into this place? Like, how bougie was it? Like, I just, and your brain just starts buzzing and all the things.
And I loved about our old place had a laundry room that had an ironing board built into the wall, which is just something you don't really see in modern architecture or modern houses.
My house growing up, my childhood home, had one of those, and it was built in the 60s, I believe.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a thing really for... there's a certain window of time where people were like, we don't want to have to store them, put it in the freaking wall.
Yeah, folded into the wall. We iron every day, obviously. This is the thing we need.
Not us,
No.
personally. We do
No.
not iron every day.
Me as a 1960s home buyer.
Okay, yeah.
Just a general note, in today's society, when we are so on our devices all the time, something that this article stressed too is to look up from time to time, to remember to put the phone down and to acknowledge the actual world around you, because the technology we carry around is amazing and awe-inspiring in its own sense, but it is also such a contained world, and we find ourselves there so often now that it can be difficult to skew the perspective away from anything that doesn't get filtered through that.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to allow yourself, maybe more often than just once in a while even, to look around and see things from your own physical perspective, and to actually experience the world that you are physically living in.
I've had like some friends and stuff too that, they get really sucked into social media, and it's happened for me time to time.
Yeah.
But people really like to influence how you think, especially about yourself. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I have definitely cut back a lot on like just straight up scrolling time. Mm-hmm. I started by like setting a timer and be like, no more than 10 minutes. Get what you need to get done on Instagram and you're good. So
Yeah.
Yeah, what a wonderful article.
It was so nice to see, and really cool to see that there's scientific studies being done in regards to this sort of what may have at other times or otherwise have been considered kind of a vague emotion, because it does apply to so many things, but it's this feeling that we can all, well, most of us anyway, should be able to relate to in many different circumstances, and it's such a wonderful feeling. I think we should all seek it out as much as possible.
I usually describe it as wonder. Mm-hmm. I try to fill my day with wonder, but awe is a good one.
Yeah.
As well. I'm going to really, really think about this going forward and make it more of a conscious choice. But now we have two little kitties that we are just constantly in awe of.
For sure.
One is grooming himself on the little chair over there.
We can't, if you're watching on YouTube, we can't stop looking over to.
I know. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob, I think that's it for the podcast today.
That's a good one.
Yeah, again, thank you for being patient while we were out of town, but it feels really good to be back.
It does, yeah. I always miss this when we miss a week.
I feel it. I feel it in my fingers.
Feel it in my whole body. So.
Yeah, it feels great to be back. Thank you for being back with us.
Yeah.
We're thrilled. Great community news. Great article, Jacob. So to sign us off, you want to leave us with a quote today?
I do. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. It's Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Oh, wow. That hits like a ton of bricks, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Whoa. I mean, it's true.
Yeah. But there is another way to change your perspective on things and to think about. Flip the coin and think about things from another
back to all
point of
that
view.
Awe.
Yeah. Oh,
Dang.
This callback podcast.
Oh, man. This is all tied in like just a perfect little bow. So we're excited to be recording more podcasts for you in the new place.
Yes.
We are back now. So you can look forward to us being in your earbuds or on your screens on YouTube every Thursday. Mm-hmm. And hopefully the kittens will be getting more and more confidence and perhaps wander into view. So we'll see about that.
We hope so.
We hope so. We hope you have a wonderful week.
We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week on the PositiviTea podcast. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Mary Lou, at PositiviTea, TEA podcast at gmail.com, and we are also on YouTube at the Miss Mary Lou YouTube channel. Wherever you are listening to us, please give us a like, a follow, a share, and leave a nice review. We would appreciate a little bit of positivity in our lives. The logo design is by Hilda Meyer Post. The music is by my co-host Jacob Kahn. I am your co-host, Miss Mary Lou Ryan, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on Thursday.